Okay, so everything that is going to be on the exam is on this board. And as I told you before, the way this works is I'm going to go around the room and you're going to tell your classmates what you know and what you don't know. So, Haley, we'll start with you. What's timpani? What's that mean? What is it? What do you know about timpani? This is the part where everyone scrambles in a mad dash with a textbook. Yeah, that's not the way to do this. If you don't know what it is, keep your pencil handy and some paper so you can know. All right, so Haley, fast. Amy, what's a timpani? Okay, she doesn't know. Somebody help her out. That's right, go.
Isn't that the 3 drums?
Okay.
And,
Keep going.
drums.
A big drum, what are they made out of?
Wood, and then the top part's usually made out of animal skin.
Okay. What do you got? It's a pitched instrument. Here's what you need to know about timpani. They are big brass drums. And they are pitched. That's what makes timpanis so interesting. All right, so who came in? Who was that?
Jacqueline.
Is that Jacqueline?
Yes, sir.
And that's what's important about a timpani. Is that not only are they big drums, but they are actually pitched. And they have either pedals or cranks. So you can tighten the head so the pitch will go up, or you can loosen the head and then it will play a lower note. And there's usually at least 4 or 5 of them in an orchestra. So timpanis are a very important instrument. Okay. Haven, tell me the main 4-string instruments of an orchestra. In other words, the 5th one I'll give you is the harp. But we think of the string section in the orchestra. What are you thinking about? Give me one of them. Okay, everybody's got to speak up because no one's going to be able to hear what you got. Give me one. Give me a string instrument. Okay, go.
Violin.
Violin. Violin. Give me something else.
Viola.
Let's see. What do you got?
Viola.
Viola. Good. Keep going. Next one. Yeah, Josh.
Double bass?
Double bass. Beautiful. I need one more.
A cello.
There we go. And so you need to know violin, viola, cello, double bass. And here's what you also need to know. The violin plays the highest notes, the double bass plays the lowest notes. And here's why. Think about it. The violin is the smallest of the string instruments, the double bass is the largest. The bigger the instrument, the lower the notes it plays. It's not rocket science. Okay, woodwinds. Let's see, Cassidy, give me a woodwind.
Flute.
Flute. What's a small flute?
Piccolo.
Piccolo. Keep going. What's a big flute? Alto flute. Or maybe even a bass flute. Or if you're really crazy, a contrabass flute. Again, the larger the flute, the lower the note. That's why a piccolo plays so high, because a piccolo is all of like 10 inches long. Whereas a regular flute, more like 24. All right, we're cooking. Give me another woodwind. How about, let's see, Magali, give me another woodwind. Give me another woodwind instrument. Okay, go. Saxophone? What kind? Well, let me ask you, are there more than one? Okay.
Would a
Wait.
clarinet be one? A clarinet maybe?
Clarinet, yeah. But let's go back to saxes. What do you got for sax? Sure. And that refers to this. So let's go here. What's SATB mean? What am I talking about there? Yeah.
Soprano, alto, tenor.
Yeah. So guess what? There's a soprano sax, an alto sax, a tenor sax, a baritone sax. And then there's a bass sax. But when we're talking about SATB, what am I talking about? What are we referring to in this class?
Vocal ranges.
John, what do you think? Be specific about when I talk about SATB, what am I referring to?
Steps.
You gotta speak up.
Steps and music.
Nope. Josh, what do you think? SATB.
It's like your vocal ranges, like soprano.
Stop. Vocal ranges. We're talking about the ranges of the human singing voice. So the soprano is what? Keep going. Keep going, Josh. What a soprano is?
Is the highest, and it goes down to alto.
The highest female voice. And then the alto is the lower female voice. The tenor is the high male voice. The baritone is the low male voice. And that's important when we start talking about polyphonic music. We'll get there in a second. Notice that I'm trying to keep this tempo up. So since we're talking about tempo, what am I referring to? What's tempo? What's tempo mean? What am I talking about? Tempo.
The speed of the music.
Yeah, how fast music is. If we're talking about tempo, is it fast, is it slow? What is the speed of the music? All right? I'm going to start jumping around here. Somebody tell me when I talk about an orchestra, what is an orchestra? How would you describe it? Can I have more people? One, go.
A group of musicians coming together and make one.
Okay. Is it a large ensemble or a small ensemble?
It'd be large.
Okay. It's the largest ensemble. We can just go ahead and say a symphony orchestra or an orchestra is the largest of ensembles. And the reason for that is it has 4 sections. All right, let's name them. Section number 1. How about Rachel?
Woodwinds.
Woodwinds, number 1. I need number 2. Let's see. Jamison. Number 2.
Bass. Bass.
Nope. Sections. Sections of the orchestra. She said woodwinds. So, Jamison, give me another section. In the orchestra. 4 sections. Michael. Brass. All right, we got woodwinds, we got brass. We need 2 more. Yes.
Strings.
Strings. That's 3. Roy, John.
Percussion.
There we go. Strings, percussion, woodwind, brass. And your textbook broke them all down for you, showed pictures of them. It's all in the book. You need to know them. Woodwinds, brass. Give me another brass instrument. Let's talk about brass. Give me some brass. Go.
Trumpet.
Trumpet. That's the one almost everyone always gets. What do you got? French horn. Very important instrument. Hard to play. Another one. Nope, somebody else. Let's go over here. How about, let's see. Amaya. Give me a
Or
brass instrument.
He said, or me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm looking at, but you're Amaya. Yeah.
I think I don't know.
We said French horn, we said trumpet. I need another one.
Guitar, trumpet. I can't think right now.
Go ahead.
Tuba.
Tuba. What do you got? Another one. Another brass instrument.
I don't know.
Someone help her out. Go, Josh.
A baritone?
I'm sorry?
Is it called a baritone?
Baritone. Yeah, I'll go with that. There's one more. Yeah.
Trombone.
Trombone's the one I was looking for. Now, it's not rocket science, folks. If the instrument is made out of brass, chances are it's going to be a brass instrument. But it's not always that way, because saxophones are a woodwind instrument. So students want to, well, why is that? Made out of brass. How come it's not a brass instrument? Because of the mouthpiece. The mouthpiece of a saxophone has what's called a reed, which is sort of like similar to the size of a tongue depressor. You know, you go to the doctor, right, and the doctor pulls out this little stick and he says, stick your tongue out. Say, ah. Well, that's sort of what a reed is. and it hooks to the mouthpiece of the saxophone. And that's why it's a woodwind, because the clarinet has a similar reed to it, along with the bass clarinet. Then you have the oboe and the bassoon. They all have reeds, or these small pieces. And the oboe and the bassoon, they're really small pieces of reed. So that's why it's a woodwind. And it's also because the saxophone was made by Adolfo Sax. He was an instrument maker, and he was designing these modern instruments. So the saxophone's only been around for like 150, 160 years. So it's a relatively new instrument. Okay, when I talk about Pope Gregory, why is he important? Yeah.
He kind of like created the Gregorian chant.
Yeah, he was the Pope. He was the guy in charge of the Roman Catholic Church when what we would call plain chant, or what later known as Gregorian chant, came into existence. And so how would we describe Gregorian chant? Is it monophonic, homophonic, polyphonic? When we talk about Gregorian chant, what do you think? Go ahead. Monophonic? How many agree with her? Okay, and what was the one song that we were singing in class that was also monophonic? Simple as that. Yeah, Happy Birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy Birthday, believe it or not, has its roots, you can actually say, in Gregorian chant. Because it's just a melody. And we describe melody as what? Give me a definition of melody. What did we say? A melody is a series of, fill in the blank. Go, John.
Notes.
Horizontal figures are tones at one end.
You like that, what she said? Say it, so tell the class again. It's what she said. Put it in your words. See, here, this is what's important. I want you to hear what your classmates are saying, but I want you to formulate it so you remember it for the test. Okay? So keep it simple. When we talk about Happy Birthday, what are we talking about? We're talking about a pitch. The first pitch, it starts, and then it moves to another pitch, and then it moves to another pitch, and then it moves to another pitch, and eventually it gets to the end. And we said that those pitches move what? Horizontally. One pitch to the next. So a melody is a series of pitches or tones that moves from one pitch to the next, from the beginning of the piece, horizontally to the end of the piece. Now, how does it move? What makes it move? There's a word for that. What is it? Michael, what do you got? What makes music move? Okay, well, we got melody. What are the other two components? There's three things. Okay, well, I love this. Hands going up. Go.
Rhythm?
Rhythm. And what did we say the definition of a rhythm was?
The engine that makes music move.
That engine that makes music move. Beautiful. See, we're talking. You guys are on this. That's what we're doing. This is how we do this. As soon as we get all this done, we're out of here. Music moves because of rhythm. Rhythm moves it. You don't have any rhythm, here's how Happy Birthday sounds. Ha, until I run out of air. Because you got no rhythm. Happy birthday to you. The rhythm. I just clapped the rhythm of Happy Birthday. And I bet most of you, if not all of you, can follow. And in your mind, you were singing Happy Birthday. Now, how weird is that? It's not weird at all. It's the whole point of this class in some respect. How is music, in your own minds as individuals, how do you learn it? How do you know it? Why is it that you understand how Happy Birthday goes? Do you practice it? Do you like, like over the weekend, if you went to your Aunt June's house, did you like, oh, Mom, we got to practice Happy Birthday. We're all going to sing, right? We got to practice. We screwed it up last year. We got to practice. When Dad gets home, he's got to like come in here and we got to practice Happy Birthday. Does anyone ever do that? No. But does everybody sing it? Yes. Does anybody practice it? No. But does everybody know it? Yes. Strange, isn't it? Oh, you said you guys know. Can you name another song that everyone in here is going to know and be able to sing? There's only one other, Star Spangled Banner. All right, you got a third one? No. You might start singing, like when you're little kids, you learn like America or My Country 'Tis of Thee. I mean, there's some songs that you learn. We might be able to sing Do, Re, Mi. But there's very little. Why? Because it's done over and over. It's familiar. Everybody's got a birthday. When you have a birthday, everybody sings. You know it. It's passed on. You sing it a lot. And this is how these songs, specifically the secular songs of 700 or 800 years ago, have been kept alive because they weren't written down. In fact, I dare say that none of you have ever seen Happy Birthday written down, but you know how to sing it. And I bet you've never practiced it either, but you know how to sing it. That's weird if you stop and think about it. So let's talk about the Star Spangled Banner. It's on the list. Do you know how it starts? Right? Jose, can you see? It's like, what's that joke about that guy? Man, come on in, sit. You can sit out there in center field. In fact, if you want to, you can sit by the flag. And the guy was very impressed because the first thing that happened is before the game started, they all started singing, Jose, can you see? The guy's like, yeah, man, I got good seats, thanks. But think about it. Da, 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 da. Just that much of the song, you need to have that in your head, because I'm going to ask you a question about it. And for those that don't know, it's really, oh, say. It's not Jose. It's, oh, say, can you see? But I didn't know that. I thought it was Jose for like the first 20 years of my life. All right. What's harmony? Somebody tell me what harmony. Go.
Isn't it kind of like what glued it together and makes it?
Give me a definition. Something simple.
Two more pitches that play at the same time.
There we go. Two or more pitches sounded or played at the same time.
Doesn't it move vertically?
It's vertically, yes. Melody's horizontal, harmony is vertical. And hence the idea that two or more pitches are played at the same time because you have this vertical aspect of things. All right, so rhythm is the engine that moves the music. Melody, bless you. Melody is pitches that are moving horizontally one pitch to the next. Harmony is created when two or more pitches are sounded together. How are we doing? Any questions so far? Anybody lost? Are we good?
For the Star Spangled Banner, what was the question? Like,
All right, now which one?
the Star Spangled Banner, what was the actual question?
The Star Spangled Banner, I want you to be able to sing that first little phrase. You won't have to sing in a test, but I'm going to ask you a question about how it goes. Oh, say, can you see? All right, so now I have to be careful when I talk about the text. In music, you have many texts. You have quintets, quartets, brastets, octets, septets. So if I were to ask you how many musicians are in a quartet, how many would you say?
4.
4? How many say 4? Quartet. Okay? If it's a sextet, how many do you have?
6.
6. How many say 6? Okay? If it's an octet, quintet, how many?
8.
8. If I ask you how many are in a trio, how many is that?
3.
3. How about a duo?
2.
Beautiful. There you go. Now, I have brass quintet in there. So, somebody what a brass quintet means. Okay, we just went through the tet. So a quintet, how many in a quintet? 5. So if it's a brass quintet, then that must mean that there are
Brassy.
5 brass instruments in a group. So if you're in a brass quintet, there's 5 brass instruments. Hands go up. Mr. Smith, does there have to be a certain, can it be like 4 trumpets and a French horn? Yep. Could it be 2 trumpets, a trombone, a French horn, and a tuba? Yep. If there's 5 brass instruments in a group, it's a brass quintet. So there's not a specific group of instruments that has to be there. But if I ask you, is 2 trumpets, an alto sax, a double bass, and a French horn a brass quintet? The answer is no. Because it's a quintet, but it's not a brass quintet because it's got a saxophone and a double bass in it. So you have a woodwind and a string with 3 brass instruments. So it's a quintet, but it's not a brass quintet. I won't trick you that way. That's sort of a trick question. I won't do that to you. I'll get if I ask you if it's a brass quintet, it's going to have 5 brass instruments in it. All right. When we talk about binary, what am I meaning? Yes? 2. And I'm talking about what though? Binary meter. So the rhythm is like this. It's a rhythm based on 2. It's a musical form that is based on 2. As opposed to a triple, which is 3. Again, it's not rocket science. Now be careful, that triple could be this. I'm just leaving 1 note out. Blues music is a triple rhythm, almost always. But you don't hear all 3 notes. They don't play all 3 notes, just like your heartbeat. Your heartbeat beats triple, but it skips a beat. Because what happens is the valve opens up, the valve closes, and then it takes a hit, and then opens and blows out again. So your heart, hopefully, is beating in triple. If it's not, you might want to go to the doctor. Dynamics refers to what?
How loud or quiet?
Perfect. How loud or soft the music is. Intervals, very important. Talk to me about intervals, somebody.
The time span between notes, or I don't know how to say that.
No, the distance between pitches. And so let's go to the chromatic scale. How many notes in the chromatic scale? Who says 12? Who disagrees? Half the class doesn't know. You disagree?
6, isn't it? It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Chromatic scale.
Oh.
See, and this is, and I'm good with you. Originally, when Pope Gregory's time, there were 8, including the octave. There was actually 7, and then the octave. But once we get to the end of the Renaissance and the early Baroque, and that's sort of where we stopped. You have the idea that we added the black keys. Remember I had the piano keyboard up there? And what happens is that once we add those black keys, now we scientifically can move between 1 note and go up a half step, and go up a half step, and go up a half step until you get to the octave, which is now the 13th note, or you've gone through 12 notes. And each one of those notes is exactly a half step different. That's when the guys and scientists and the lab coats got together. And that's why it's so hard for us to understand what music 1,000 years ago sounded like, because it wasn't in tune. It didn't, if you were to hear music that, of the Gregorian chant actually sung, all of you would have your eyes, kind of closed halfway, and your heads would be cocked. It's like, it really wouldn't sound that good. It'd be sort of like, well, Edith. It'd be sort of like the music needed to pass gas or something. I mean, it just wouldn't be right. And it's because it's out of tune. Because there wasn't any pitch that everything was centered on. No starting point. All right. For those of you that came in early, I was playing Maurice Ravel's Bolero. And how many of you recognize that piece? How many of you have ever heard that before? Anyone? Okay. It's a 15-minute piece that's based on this. For 15 minutes, one guy plays that rhythm on a snare drum. The double basses go boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, boom, bum, 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 bum. That is called an ostinato. It is a small musical phrase that repeats itself over and over and over again. And Ravel originally wrote the Bolero as a flute exercise. But eventually it became a piano piece, and then a friend of his orchestrated it, and next thing you know, you have this world-famous orchestral piece called the Bolero by Maurice Ravel. But that musical figure goes on and on and on and on. It starts at triple piano, which is not an instrument, but it is part of dynamics. When we talk about dynamics, you have forte, which is loud, and piano, which is soft. But if you want it really loud, you'll have fortissimo. Or if you want it really soft, you will have pianissimo. If you want it really, really loud, you have triple forte. If you want it really, really, really soft, you have triple piano. If you want to be as loud as a jet plane, you will have quadruple forte. I won't go quadruple forte. I don't think my voice could be that loud, and you wouldn't want it to be that loud anyway. Dynamics, big range. But they're all based on forte is your loud, piano is your soft. Beat. What's a beat? Give me a beat. What's a beat? Define it for me. What's a beat? Here, I'll play you one for you. Ready? I give you a beat. How would you define that? Nope. What do you got? Beat. Okay. Beat.
It's like foundation of
Okay. Keep going.
a song.
Okay.
Would it be like the speed that the music is playing, like?
Nope. That's your tempo.
Oh,
The
yeah,
speed.
okay.
Okay. Give me a beat. Somebody. Go, Michael. Give me a beat.
Part of the rhythm,
Okay. Which part?
the notes that the rhythm is made out of.
Okay. But can you describe? In other words, it's like it's simplified. What do you think? Beat. Now, remember the example I just went. Was that long or short? Big or small? Small. A beat is your basic unit of measurement in music. One beat. So let's go back to Happy Birthday. So happy starts out like this, right? Well, what's the first beat? Happy birthday. So I got a lot of beats. So you measure. So if I do this, if I'm clapping, here's my tempo. I'm setting a tempo, and I'm going to count. Well, here's something you haven't thought about. Happy birthday is a triple meter. It's in 3. And it doesn't even start on 1. It starts on 3. 1, 2, it's 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You never think about it. You just sing it.